This is Newsnight. The Minister of Defense, Mohammed Abubakar, is assuring that no officer or soldier performing lawful duties will face punishment. Speaking during the ministerial briefing to flag off the 2026 Armed Forces Celebration and Remembrance Day at the National Defense College, the minister reaffirmed the government's commitment to protecting officers on legitimate assignments. Well, this assurance comes after a confrontation between the FCT minister, Nyesom Wike, and military officers who were led by naval personnel to secure a disputed land in the capital, Abuja.
Well, at the ministry and indeed the armed forces, we will always protect officers on local duty. So we are looking into the question and be rest assured any officer on local duty be protected. I will not have anything to do local duty, doing his job, and doing his job credibly well.
And as public reactions continue on the Wike versus naval officers altercation, what is the position of the law? Well, joining me now is Dr. Sam Amadi. He's the director, Abuja School of Social and Political Thought. Thank you so much, Dr. Amadi, for joining me on the news tonight.
Thank you as well.
I mean, when you listen to I believe you've seen the video because it was viral.
Sure.
Great. But when you listen to the Minister of Defense speak today, without making actual reference or naming names, and says the federal government will protect any officer on lawful, I think it's very important to read between the lines.
Sure.
Lawful, legitimate assignments. Then you question what exactly is lawful assignment in this situation between the FCT minister and the naval personnel.
Okay, first, I think the statement by the minister is right, that officers on lawful assignments, executives lawfully need protection of the state because they are acting for the commander-in-chief. Again, this is a matter around rightful possession or ownership or use of land. So I think the case for the minister is that he has exercised his power under the law to revoke or cancel an allocation that was properly made. The minister, again, Nigerians confused often. The minister is the aide of the president and therefore exercises the presidential power over this territory called FCT. So he is the minister for FCT. Section 5 gives the president 3 powers for under constitutional theory. One is what we call chief executive power, domestic policy. That's where the president supervises all the various ministries, department of government, and so on and so forth. That's the chief executive power, which he can delegate to anybody, and in fact do delegate to ministers. Section 5 says he can do it by himself, he can do it by the VP, minister, or any other officer. The second kind of power the president has is what commander-in-chief power. That's the power over security and military. And the third one is what we call in foreign policy sole organ. He's the sole organ that represents the country in foreign policy. The first and the third can be delegated. The one of commander-in-chief is non-delegable. So even if the minister is an aide exercising the power of the president under the FCT Act, the Federal Territory Act, and the FCTA law and other laws, he does not exercise the power of the commander-in-chief. And nobody does apart from the president. And in fact, the Minister of Defense does not exercise. He only exercises authority, not delegated, so it can be delegated. Now, the minister is right if rightly authorized by the president and rightly in line with the law to revoke through due process. The first question is, when he does that, he can trigger many forms of execution. The minister is not really necessarily the one who will execute his authorization. So he revokes this, they go there, the army officers refuse to let them in, they report back, the minister gets to the IG of police has a right to use the police to enforce. The military does not have responsibility to enforce law. It's the police of this country. Or worst case, he can talk to the chief of army staff. So I think that it was needless for the minister to go there physically with people to maybe get the officers out. So he might have the power, he might have exercised his power rightly in revoking or cancelling, but he does not necessarily have to go there physically to get them out. The officer, I think in my fair view, acted in line with what soldiers would do. He is authorized to go there, protect the place, don't allow ingress into that place. So he does that. So although you're a minister, you can't override that instruction except through the same channel in which, so those are the important things to distinguish here. So people say, you're a minister. Of course, the minister of the federal government, he had his president's aides acting for the president. But at that context where a soldier has instruction to do a thing, hopefully lawful instruction, and that's the inquest. The president can find out who authorized him to do this and was it proper to. But the soldier has to keep what appears to be a lawful instruction on the face of it. And in my view, the soldier didn't do it wrong. Now, if you look at the Supreme Court, has said that, look, soldiers cannot plead superior authority to do illegality. But in this case, protecting a place is not on the face of it illegal. So many have argued, some advocates have argued, say the Supreme Court has said it's true, but this is not the context in which, for example, if he goes there and go into a house and kill somebody, then you cannot say lawful order. That's an unlawful order, but in order to seal a place from ingress is not on the face of it unlawful. Okay,
so I mean, I noticed you emphasize rightly. I mean, the minister does have the lawful grounds
to cancel allocation if
it
goes to due process. Yeah.
Due process. So in this case, you're saying that, I mean, it was not necessary for him to have gone there physically.
Yes, he's not the executor. I mean, he authorizes that this police due process.
Great. So should the police have come into this matter, would have changed the situation? Because we had an officer who says he was acting on superior orders from a 3-star general, who, by the way, is retired. And that's another conversation Nigerians are having. A retired naval officer does the law also protect him from having a security officer in the person of Officer Yerima yesterday, being on that plot of land?
Okay, two things are involved. First, this is a case around mismanagement of land resources. I mean, look, when we had the Land Use Act, we never thought that governors and ministers will have this power to do whatever they like. I mean, this is the right time now to junk that Land Act. The governors and the ministers or the president in FCT are no longer trustworthy trustees of the common good. So you see Abuja, ministers come, they revoke whatever, and reallocate whoever they like on the pretext of public purpose and public good. Not just the ministers, governors. I was doing a case in Imo State where the government purported to have revoked a whole community, thousands thousands. The people, Agrarian people, know where to give it to a church, Zion ministry, and say, that's madness. You just can't take people's land. Land is a source of economic well-being. And so there's a practice.
But the law also gives power to the governors.
The governors
are
supposed to use it for public good. You can't take from Amadi and give to Adesua. That's not public good. And that's what we're seeing now. So first, let's say a racketing, a criminality, high level over land resources, which is dangerous. And that's how I will appeal that we should end that. The governors have proved to be untrustworthy custodians. The presidents, not just this one, have also proved to be untrustworthy. Look at the...
So who do we give, very quickly, who do we give the pass to?
So what I'm saying that, like if you look at elsewhere in the US, the law of takings. Now, procedure for taking public land. 2, manifest public policy, not PPP. It's a go and build land. But the other issue is this. You're right. The retired general, took advantage of his leverage with the defense. By the way, if it's a non-general, they would have thrown him out, put in the house. I will be talking on arise. So what we are seeing here is misuse of both civilian and military power. But what is notable is government officials should learn how to process action. So I see lack of due process. You make an order, you cancel it, they refuse, you trigger the IG to execute it, or even the CDS. So the minister shouldn't have gone there and take the risk. All right. And I think it's avoidable. And it speaks to the lack of due process and civility in governance.
There are also even reports that this land is in court. The issue is in court.
So allow the court to run their course.
Exactly. Dr. Sam Amadi, I must thank you very much for your time. As always, Director, Abuja School of Social and Political Thought.